Hi everyone, this is Jen. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be making a paper purse, and as you can tell, I'm kind of a fan of this project. I make quite a few of these, so I'm going to put these aside. You can make them in various sizes, but this is the size we're going to make today. You're going to need some cardstock. To start off with, the body of your purse is 6 by 12. Your two side pieces are 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. You need 2 of those. Your flap for your closure measures 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. And then my handle here is 11 inches by 1 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and pull our body of our purse over here. And because I know I want my this to be the front of my purse, and when it comes over, this is going to be my flap side, I'm going to put that side to the left of my scoreboard. So the flap part is on the left side of my board. So on the 12-inch, we're not going to do any scoring on the 6-inch side. On the 12-inch side, you're going to score at 1, 1 3/4, 5 3/4, and 8. That's all the scoring you have to do for the body of the purse. And we'll bring in the sides. On the 3 1/4 inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. You're going to give it 1 rotation, 1 turn, score at 1/2 inch, turn it 1 more time, and score at 1/2 inch. So on the 2 long sides, you're going to score, those are going to be scored at 1/2 inch, and then just one of the short sides. We're going to do that again. So we're actually scoring with the 3/4 inch side at the top. We're going to score, I'm going to make sure I have this the right way. Yep, because this is the bottom. 1/2 inch, I'm going to score there, and 1/2 inch, I'll score there. If you do have a certain pattern of paper that needs to go a certain direction, you just kind of keep that in mind. Since I have the scoreboard out, I'm going to go ahead and do my handle now as well, or at least score it. I'm going to, this, like I said, is 1 1/2 by 11. I'm going to come in and I'm going to score this at 3/8 of an inch, so 3 notches in. I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3 notches in. And we're going to put this aside. And we'll bring back in the body of our purse, and we're just going to burnish these score lines. This is pretty thick cardstock. Make sure everything lays down flat. I'm going to make sure everything stays lined up too. Generally, when you're scoring things on the scoreboard, things line up pretty good, but you always want to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and burnish these score lines on our side pieces. All right, now on our side pieces, we have 2 squares down at the bottom. Might be easier to see through the white side. We're just going to cut those off. Cutting them off on this piece, and we're going to cut them off on this piece. All right, so those are all removed. So now what we have to do is take our adhesive, I'm using score tape, and put on our flaps. Attach this. So what we're going to do, our middle section here where we have our scored area, we're taking our bottom flap, which is this one, and we're matching it up right down here. So in between the score lines, and then you want your score line here to match up with the edge of your project. So we'll do this. I'll kind of lightly press down a little bit. See, yep, I like that. And then I'll really give it a press. This score tape is really good stuff. If you press down like I just did, it is not going to come off. And if it does come off, you're going to rip your project. So really make sure that you, it's really where you want it before you lay down your score tape. Obviously, if you want to use some other kind of adhesive, wet glue or a different kind of dry adhesive, you certainly can. I'm going to do the same thing here. line up my tab with the, just kind of give it an easy press. Yep, I like where that's at, so I'm really gonna press it down. Now we're gonna bring our sides in. I'm gonna line up that score line with the edge of our paper. So now we're going to take our index fingers and just kind of push in on the sides and bring the flap over, and there we go. That's our purse. Let's bring in our flap closure. And this little piece here I'm using as an accent piece. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that first. Just going to round the corners on that piece. I'm going to attach it with some ATG adhesive. Just going to line up the back of that piece with the back of my flap. Bring in my corner rounder again. You know what? I don't want that much extra room. I'm going to just cut off a teeny tiny bit of this. There we go. So there's our flap. I'm going to bring back in my little scoreboard. And this is not something you have to do. It just makes it a lot easier when you're putting on the closure here. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 1 1/4. That's going to help us line everything up. Just going to burnish those score lines a little bit. Come in with my score tape again. Going to lay some of that score tape down. And I am putting it on the first 2 sections where I scored. So the 1/2 inch section and then the 3/4 inch section that we have here, that's where I'm putting the adhesive. Okay, so now I'm going to take our project and just eyeball it, find the center. If you wanted to measure, you could. I'm not going to. Line up our folds right there. We bring it around. Then we bring it around. It looks just like this. Okay, now to close it, I'm using these Velcro dots I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to lay one just right on the end of the flap. Grab the other half of this, attach it, and then close this where I want it to close. So I'm just going to bend it over, press it down, and then it should stick enough, I hope, to where now we can get in there and really press the other half of that down. Okay, I'm going to come in with my corner rounder and round my corners of my purse here, the front. Okay, so let's see if we can get this closed. Perfect. Get it lined up right. Okay, so at this point you could just leave it like this as like a handbag or a cute little box or something, but I'm going to bring in our handle and we're going to attach a handle. So the score lines that we made previously at the beginning of the video, I'm going to go ahead and burnish those. And then that's our handle. Give it a little bit of a curve. I'm going to go ahead and bring back in. You can use the big scoreboard as well. You don't have to use the small one, but when I'm doing something like this, I just grab my small one. I'm going to, at 3/4 inch, we're going to make a mark on each end. So grab your handle and at 3/4 inch, just give it a little bit of a score there. And then fold it inward. The side where you put everything together, that's going to be the underneath side. Okay, so we're going to attach the handle like this. I am going to attach it with some score tape, since score tape seems to be a little bit heftier than ATG. Just lay down a couple strips of adhesive on those flaps of the handle. Alright. Open this back up. Grab one side. and you have an inner, the middle part of your flap, we're going to just attach it like that. I'm going to bring it around and just attach it to the other side, lining my scored mark up with the edge of the project. And we're going to go ahead and close it again. When you put things in these purses, they look a whole lot better because they puff out. When there's nothing in them, sometimes they want to tend to buckle and things, but there's the project. You can manipulate the handles a little bit and shape them in a little bit better if you want to do that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.